What's up, peoples? We're talking boxing. Unfortunately for me, I was trying to get on a hangout with my boy Tommy Temper and also, I believe, on Rival Boxing or something like that. I forgot his name. And they brought up a topic. I was asked what fights I'm looking forward to. I brought up a topic, and I wanted to talk a little bit more on that topic. First of all, though, before I even go there, shout out to Tommy Temper for the hangout. Shout out to Unrivaled Boxing. To be honest with you guys, I still don't know how to use the Google Hangout on a phone. It's very frustrating, but it is what it is. Of course, it was a lively session, heated debate. I wanted it to be heated because I wanted to send a message to these guys that, look, man, you can't be talking shit. You can't be talking shit. You really can't. You have to talk sensible boxing. I don't care how popular you think your opinion is. Don't talk shit. Really don't talk shit. So anyway, but other than that, got love for both of those guys. I don't really know them personally like that, but I got love for them. But I was just emphasizing a point I wanted to make, and so I'm going to talk about it now. So I was listening, and they asked me a question. And I was saying that I'm looking forward to the rematch between J Rock and Jarett Hurd. The reason being, I think J Rock will win the rematch, seeing he's a boxer, but you just never know. Jarett Hurd has a lot of skills, and then I was saying, I think that he has, of course, he has a better defense than Triple G, and that was debated with the other guy. I think it's on Rival Boxing, or I can't remember exactly who he was. Shout out to him anyway. And he was trying to prove that Triple G got a better defense than Jarett Hurd. And for the life of me, I can't. There are things in life that I think these guys just don't understand, or something. I just can't understand how you could say something like that. All right, I'm gonna easily explain this. This is not rocket science, okay? Triple G looked good, and his defense looked good against inferior opposition, non-elite opposition, or B-level opposition. It didn't look great against Danny Jacobs, who was landing all kinds of punches on him. Didn't look great against Canelo, who was landing whenever he wanted to on him. All right, and it didn't look great against what's that guy's name, the Trinidadian dude. Right, didn't look great against him either. Now you gotta understand, Triple G has not fought top tier opposition. Jarett Hurd has. For the vacant title that Jarett Hurd won, which was what was it? I can't remember what it was, against Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison's a top tier boxer. Top tier. He's right now WBC world champion, right? So that proves that point. He's a top tier guy. Now, Jarett Hurd was able to stop him with a pull counter. He pull countered with a right. Okay? Showing that he had defense. When Tony Harrison threw his jab, Jarett Hurd snapped back, showing that he wasn't going to get hit, and he pull countered. Right? Tony Harrison stopped him. Daniel Gill versus Triple G. How did Triple G stop Daniel Gill? What did Daniel Gill do? He landed a punch flush on Triple G. But Triple G continued, because he's so strong and tough, he continued his punch back to Daniel Gill and was able to catch him. Triple G, this is something we all know. Everybody knows this. Triple G's not known for his defense. Now, what these guys are getting tied up with, okay, there's another point I want to make about Jarett Hurd. Earlier in Jarett Hurd's career, go look at Jarett Hurd versus Frank Galazza, for example, or Jarett Hurd versus Jojo Dan. All right, these are lower level competition, right? Galazza was undefeated as a guy coming up. Galazza. I was a Galazza fan because I liked how he would size up an opponent, figure him out, and then he would stop him. Anyway, Frank Galazza faced up against Jarett Hurd. And what y'all don't know, and I want you to go do your homework, Jarett Hurd wasn't a switch hitter. He never used to shift all the time. And he also never used to roll on both sides. The first time I saw Jarett Hurd, he didn't have dreadlocks. He had black hair. All right? Jarett Hurd knows how to box. He knows how to box. He can go into the Philly shell, like you guys like to call the Philly shell, and he can lean back. He can roll punches and stuff like that. Jarett Hurd also has a great jab. Jarett Hurd can fight on the outside. He can also fight on the inside. All right? Why I'm saying this is because Triple G is not the same as Jarett Hurd. Triple G is one-dimensional. Triple G, yes, he blocks punches. Some of y'all was trying to say he catches and blocks punches. But literally, he also blocks punches with his face. He may ride a punch. But he literally eats shots with his face, especially against top-tier opposition. Jarett Hurd doesn't get hit that much like Triple G does. He doesn't. I'm just being real with you guys. He snaps back. He also slides in off an angle. He uses what is called virtual distance. He'd be closer to you than you think. Even though he shifts in a different kind of way. He bobs and weaves. I mean, for a tall guy, he does a lot of different things, which are really exceptional. That's why he's so good with the inside fighting. All right, he knows how to angle himself to cover up against certain shots. He leads with the shoulder, but he can do it either way. Every now and then when he tries to go in between southpaw and orthodox, he tries to shift. He gets caught, kind of like what happened with Danny Jacobs. But he tries to, when he's shifting, he tries to bob and weave or dip before he shifts. Okay? The dude does a lot of things in there, which is why you cannot say that Jarett Hurd has weaker defense than Triple G. It's just rather stupid. All right, Triple G is a European fighter. He fights with a European style. Call it Mexican style, but it's not Mexican style. His head, he don't move his fucking head for nothing. Jarett Hurd moves his head a lot. I mean, if you know boxing, you wouldn't say something stupid like Triple G got better defense than Jarett Hurd. You just don't say stupid things like that. You know, that's why I just went in on that fool, because it was like, dude, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. So here's what I need this guy to do. And Tommy Temper, shout out to Tommy Temper. I hope you tell this guy to go do his homework on Jarett Hurd. Okay? Like I said, Jarett Hurd wasn't always a switch hitter. He wasn't always a guy that rolled left and right. He's perfecting the style that he's doing. He wasn't always that. Yes, he's not a professional boxer. He wasn't, extensive amateur career and all of that. But the dude, don't get it twisted. The dude got skills. All right? There's a reason why he was unified champion. Now, what happened with his style and where he was vulnerable against J-Rock? J-Rock was doing something. Let me show you what J-Rock was doing. Because y'all don't understand boxing, man. Y'all just talk out your ass so much. Okay? J-Rock, all right, on the inside, he wouldn't stand directly in front of Jarett Hurd. Now, Jarett Hurd's a guy, even when he's turning you, Jarett Hurd will do something like this. So you can't see my fucking footwork. That's so frustrating. I want to demonstrate this shit. I'm demonstrating this shit. When I demonstrate something, it tells you I know what I'm talking about. All right? Shit. That's why these motherfuckers just talk out of their ass, folks. They talk out of their ass. They talk popular sentiment. They can't back shit up. When I talk, I can back up my shit. Anyways, let's get to it. Because I'm tired of the bullshit. This is not opinion. Okay? That's why I just blast the guy to Kingdom Come, because I know what I'm talking about. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. Alright, so J-Rock is going against Jarett Hurd. What do you do against a guy like that? You shoulder him. You run up on his shoulder. Okay? And then when you see a space and you stay with double guard like this, and you inch in like this, and you protect your body here. Fucking camera's so fucking low. Anyways, I'm trying to get you to understand. Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, all these motherfuckers do that. Jarett Hurd sometimes squares up because he switches stances. He can go southpaw or orthodox. Sometimes he square up and coming like you like this. He also uses the shoulder and angles in, but J-Rock a little bit more sneaky. So he was sneaking a punch and pivot. He's sneaking and pivot. And so they pivoting around each other. jostling for position. But J-Rock was just much more crisp with his pivoting. Because Jarett Hurd, he don't have extensive pro career. He don't know the little tricks with the forearm. So fuck, man. I want to demonstrate this shit, but I can't. I don't know how to demonstrate it because the camera. So I'm gonna do it orthodox because y'all gonna get confused if I do it southpaw. So your forearm, I told you this is like a collapsed jab. All right, I'm gonna rest my forearm here on you. Okay, I'm gonna rest it on you, and I can pivot off of that, and you gotta pivot with me. If you don't pivot with me, but my forearm is gonna keep you off balance. I'm gonna have you like this. You're gonna be pushed back a bit. You're gonna be a little bit off again. I'm not pushing on the forearm, but I'm gonna keep. So I keep my preferred range. I dig to the body. You can't see that shit. I dig to the fucking body. Man, you guys can't see that shit. That's what he was doing. That's what J-Rock was doing. Now Jarett Hurd wasn't using the forearm. What he would do is he would double up here. Okay? Catch and shoot. Catch it, shoot. But it don't work if the other guy's turning you using his forearm. Because if I turn you with my forearm, you're off balance. You can't throw a shot under my forearm. You see? Even how he dropped Jarett Hurd was clever. Alright? And he was really putting leverage in them shots. And he really trained. He really conditioned himself to be able to handle a J-Rock. Because J-Rock got ridiculous conditioning as well. Okay? I'm not J-Rock. Jarett Hurd. Okay? So my point is, Julian Williams did his homework and research. And he was turning Jarett Hurd in such a manner. It's not that Jarett Hurd is a come forward fighter that's just one dimensional. He uses shifting. He uses the Philly shot. He uses virtual distance. He inches in. He does a lot of things, and he does it rather quickly and relentlessly to put the pressure on you. You can't fight. Jarett Hurd fought Erislandy Lara, a very skilled southpaw, and beat him. Okay? And Erislandy Lara is is an exceptional boxer. You don't fight somebody of that caliber and beat them if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. All right? If you don't have some of the fundamentals and skills in boxing. And the thing with Jarett Hurd is, sometimes you think you're firing off punches and landing on him. You're not landing shit on him because he's blocking the punches, or he is shifting out of the way of the punches, or he's pivoting out of the way of the punches. Another thing he does is pivot out of the way of the punches. Sometimes he gets his feet crossed because he's trying to shift. He's trying to shift from orthodox to southpaw to catch you. But he does it in a slick kind of way. And he may do it on the lean back. He may do it leaning forward. He may do it with a bob and weave. Y'all motherfuckers don't even understand what that motherfucker be doing in there. All right? So much shit that man be doing. And y'all don't understand. That way he knew he was the next. Okay? It's not just he's a tough guy and he takes punches. Okay? Triple G don't know nothing about that. He don't bob and weave. He don't do shit. He just come off the jab. He'll come off a shotgun jab, and then he uses his hooks and stuff. He's very fucking robotic, and his head stays in the fucking center line. So you can hit him. He hittable, but he tough. All right? Every now and then, of course, he shells up. And when he shells up, he don't have no fucking offense. Whereas Jarett Hurd would dig to the body, he'll catch you with the shell. He catch you with the shell, and then he catch and shoot and dig to the body. Triple G don't do that shit. He just, you back his ass up, he just gonna shell up. You back up Jarett Hurd, he's got a jab. He can keep you at bay. And he has a very good jab. And he mixes it from the head to the body. All right? And he not only uses one kind of jab, he uses several kinds of jabs. All right? And this is the thing I don't understand. Like you guys don't learn things watch things for yourself. Go look at some fights of Jarett Hurd. I looked at the earlier fights of Jarett Hurd when he didn't have the dreadlocks. When he wasn't shifting, he was just using the Philly chef. He was rolling punches. Okay? You motherfuckers, man. That's why as I said before, and that's why I was so adamant with this guy. Because he didn't know what the fuck he was talking. I don't care about popular sentiment. Because all of those motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they talking about. Okay? And it bothers me when I see one dumbass talk and a couple other dumb, and I'm giving reasons, and that motherfucker gave no reason. What did he say? All he said was, oh, Triple G just be catching punches, and so what I mean? Oh, Triple G, he got better defense because he don't get hit much. What I mean? He don't get hit much because he's not facing the level of opposition. Jarett Hurd first, Erislandy Lara, Austin Trout. All right. He fought also Julian Williams just recently. And he also fought what's that motherfucker's name? Come on, help me here, folks. I stopped him, too. All right, Tony Harrison. All right, and Tony Harrison caught him with 1 or 2 shots, really nice and crisp. But at the end of the day, man, you guys, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. I actually did a video on that a while back, showing how much Jarett Hurd is a better fighter than Triple G, but he has a somewhat of a pressure style like Triple G, and how he was able to beat a fighter who was on the back foot and elusive in Erislandy Lara, whereas Triple G could not beat Canelo. All right? See, we got too many Triple G fanboys out here. Triple G can't do no wrong. Oh, he was Olympic silver medalist. That don't mean he moved his damn head. Defensive-wise, Triple G sucks. It's just that nobody could do anything about his defense because his offense was so dominant to them because they didn't have the skills to exploit his defense. Canelo had the skills to exploit his defense. Danny Jacobs had the skills to exploit it. And up to this day, Canelo beat Triple G twice. And up to this day, people can't see that. That's still somewhat of an unpopular sentiment, which I find rather stupid because boxing is hit or not get hit. It wasn't like Canelo was eating one to get one. You know? And it's that sad kind of fact we have to deal with where people are so fucking biased. They can't see. You mentioned a name like Triple G. You mentioned a name like Manny Pacquiao. And those motherfuckers, I guess if you mention a name like Harry Crabb for those fuckboys who are historians, you know, you mention these names and all of a sudden people, they go stupid. There's no logic behind what reasoning behind them. Because they white or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's race or something. You know, or they like the style or whatever. But you had to be or Mike Tyson. Sometimes people say, Mike Tyson would have beaten this guy and beaten that. And I'm like, styles make fucking fights. Do you guys even understand? He never was going to beat Holyfield, and he never was going to beat Lennox Lewis. Like, y'all never processed that, right? Holyfield was being nice by saying, you know, if he had faced Mike Tyson earlier on. Bullshit, man. He faced Mike Tyson in the amateurs, man. He faced him in the amateurs. And so did Lennox Lewis. It's bullshit. Right? And these are the things we got to deal with. What I call mythos of a fighter. The mythos of the fighter is stronger. All the fucking evidence in the world shows you that Triple G right now, he ain't won no piece of Demetrius Andrade. He ain't won no piece of Billy Joe Saunders. He ain't won no piece or no rematch with Danny Jacobs. He won Canelo. And he knows in his heart of hearts, he gonna lose to Canelo again. He knows that already. He know he lose the last 2 fights he had with Canelo. All right? He knows that. They just punking Canelo. Even Abel Sanchez, tongue-in-cheek, talks about Canelo as a great fighter and so on, blah, blah, blah. They're just trying to get paid and get out of the game. Right? But he's still gonna have to face Demetrius Andrade, and they're still gonna have to face Jamal Charlo, and they're still gonna have to face Danny Jacobs. Those are elite fighters. All right? You know, it was Boxing Waves. Apparently, he woke out of his delusion about Triple G, and he realized that Triple G's legacy, that motherfucker didn't fight certain people that were available for him to fight. Erislandy Lara called his ass out. He didn't fight Erislandy Lara. Who he fought? Willie Monroe. Who's better, Lara or Monroe as a boxer? Who got a better resume? Who has proven themselves? It took Jarett Hurd to face Erislandy Lara, a guy that Gennady Golovkin had no interest in facing. All right? You got the opportunity of a lifetime to face Billy Joe Saunders before you had the Canelo either rematch or match. I can't remember which one it was. WBO champion. Instead of facing Billy Joe Saunders, what that motherfucker do? He faced a dud before he faced Canelo. Y'all remember that? Because they knew Billy Joe might have beat his ass. I'm just saying. Now he has the opportunity to face Demetrius Andrade. A motherfucker don't want to face Demetrius Andrade. But he's good, and his defense is great. You getting a chance to face an elite fucking fighter. You've been facing all these duds, okay? What did Jarett Hurd do to the duds? What did he do to the Iono Dans and the recent guy the recent guy he faced before he faced J-Rock? What did he do to those guys? He knocked them out. And not only that, they didn't even touch him. They couldn't touch him. Right? So he faces lower level competition, and he does to them better than Triple G does to his. Because he's not getting touched like Triple G's getting touched. All right? Steve Ross. What the fuck is Steve Ross doing tagging up Triple G in the second round? Oh, he's so good. He's a good fighter. He don't belong in the elite level, folks. Steve, okay. We saw what Billy Joe Saunders did to David Lemieux. And he did a better job than Triple G did. He didn't stop him, but he did a better job. He outclassed him. He outboxed him. Right? What did Jarett Hurd do to Iono Dan? He outclassed him. He outboxed him, and he stopped his ass. Outclassed him. Not what Triple G did to Steve Ross, which is not outclassed, but be strong, man. I remember Willie Monroe getting shots in on Triple G. And he's like, oh, I just put myself there. So what drama? So no, fuck up. You don't have fucking defense. How many times we seen this? In fact, in the first fight in the 12th round, Triple G put his head there, and Canelo was banging the shit out of his head in the 12th round. Y'all forget that? He stuck his head out, and Canelo was just banging his head left and right. Motherfucker wasn't even trying to ride the punches. He was just getting hit. Showing that you have a hell of a chin, I guess. Right? Eyes all puffy and everything at the end of the fight. Y'all talking some bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. Jarett Hurd is so much better defensively than Gennady Golovkin. He don't get the stoppages early like Gennady Golovkin gets because he wasn't fighting duds. He was fighting top tier guys. He won his belt against a top tier guy who is now WBC world champion. When Triple G stepped up his game and started facing top tier guys, he lost. He got a decision against Jacobs, but he lost against Jacobs. You say, oh, he dropped Jacobs, so that's why he won. No, majority of the fight, Jacobs was beating his ass. He was beating on him. Jacobs was beating on him. What were the moments when Triple G had Jacobs in trouble? Other than the drop. Think about that. Because he's hittable. That's why Jonathan Banks is there to train him. Why do you think he left Abel Sanchez? He's trying to work on his defense. He's working on his defense. He don't have good defense. So it's amazing to hear these guys talk. Like, it amazes me. I'm like, somebody need to shut this motherfucker up because he's talking shit and people are actually going to believe this shit. And there's a popular belief that Triple G got great defense. He does not have great defense. He's not Mayweather by any shot of imagination. He rides some punches. He'll turn his head and ride certain punches. He got his two guard. He might snap a little bit back from a punch in a straight fucking line by that. He doesn't pivot at all. He don't snap out of the way of punch by pivot. So you can push his ass back. You start banging on him, he gonna go straight back, which is a no-no in boxing. He know nothing about pivot work like that, especially defensive. All right, Jarett Hurd is so much better than Triple G. I'm amazed. I said I am amazed at the stupidity out here with these fans. I am amazed. That's why I just went in on that fool, because it was like, you spreading wrong fucking information. This is not a matter of opinion. That's why boxers in the sport of boxing, they don't debate with fans, man. They just don't. Because they're cussing them out or something. You know, they cuss them out, and then what? What does that accomplish? You know, Coach Eric Bradley. Man, we need Coach Eric Bradley to be talking to these assholes, man. We need people who actually know what they're talking about to talk to these assholes. Because they ain't going to listen to me. They say I'm crazy and stuff. I'm watching these fools like, man, y'all gotta be out of your fucking mind. Talking about I'm retarded. I look at these assholes. I'm like, I'm retarded, motherfucker. I'm boxing now, motherfucker. I'm boxing now. What are you doing? You know, you know who else would have been a guy who would have roast that motherfucker quickly? Troy King. Troy King would have roasted that motherfucker. He'd have roasted his ass. That's another guy I listen to. I don't listen to the LGBT community because I ain't got time for that. No disrespect to them. Some of them, I like Dante's Boxing Nation and all of that, but Dante, Dante sometimes be biased as fuck. I know he's anti-Canelo. I'm a Canelo fan. And besides that, Canelo do so much different things, man. Jackson the Hopeful, man. What's up, man? Hey, busy day. That's good, man. I was busy too. Yeah. Man, dude, Jackson, man, I had to listen to some shit. I was on a hangout by my phone, but I didn't really know how to control my phone. I didn't know how the phone was working. And I heard the dumbest shit ever. The Triple G got better defense than, what's his name? Jarett Hurd. So I was just breaking down why, because I break shit down. These motherfuckers don't break shit down. They don't break anything down, okay? I was breaking down why Jarett Hurd has better defense by a long mile than Triple G has. Okay? I was explaining it. Jarett Hurd came up using the Philly shell. He started to switch hit and he started to shift later on in his career. At least we saw that. Alright? And he wasn't a guy to just get touched like that. Now at the elite level he got touched a bit. He's been touched up a bit. But he's being dropped. But by and large, as the fight goes along, he puts the pressure together. He gets his act together a little bit better, and he fights. He does get hit because he's still working on the switching, how to switch hit and get his punches in on the inside, especially. All right. But for a tall guy, again, he's a tall, big dude. He does a lot of things, including bobbing and weaving, virtual distance, shifting and snapping back on the back foot off the pivot, and all kinds of shit he does. All right? And these are things that, look, Jarett Hurd's issue was that he let J-Rock get on the inside and bully him. Well, no, not really. J-Rock was using the pivot work, but he was much more precise and sharp in how he used pivot work. Because, again, Jarett Hurd, his thing is to fight on the inside as well. He likes to put pressure on the inside. He likes to come from the outside to the inside, use his jab, use feints, come from the outside to the inside, inch in, use virtual distance, that kind of shit, and get from the outside to the inside. He bobs and weaves to shift and all of that. He uses various things. But because he's not been in the amateurs and he doesn't have extensive experience in doing things, he doesn't do them perfectly. That's his problem. So he doesn't cut his angles always perfectly, so he gets countered sometimes. But even when he gets countered, he's snapping back off the counter or riding the punch off the counter or catching the punch off the counter, or he's bobbing under the punch, weaving under the punch, and that kind of stuff. So he's a very interesting fighter. Now with J-Rock got position on him. So he was turning him, and like I explained it already in the video, using the shoulder to bump him. And once he bumped him off guard, he might use the forearm or T angles to get the overhand right on him. So it's just all these little tricks J-Rock knows from the pros and from the amateurs that Jarett Hurd didn't know about. But Jarett Hurd's a damn good boxer, man. He's good, damn good boxer. Very much better defense than Triple G. You know, much better defense. Triple G don't move his head. For fuck's sake, he don't move his head. And against Steve Rawls, you getting tagged up like that in the second round. Jarett Hurd don't get. That's first of all, Steve Rawls is the lowest level of competition ever. He's even lower than Ian or Dan or Jojo Dan. And Jojo Dan didn't touch Jarett Hurd. He didn't touch him. You know, a number of other guys before he became world champion didn't touch him. In fact, the most recent guy he faced wasn't touching him, right? So my point being, you know, that Gigi been facing a lower level competition. When he stepped up to face higher level competition, you know, he getting tagged up like a motherfucker. Hey, the lower level competition was tagging him up. I think Gigi known for his toughness and his power. That's his thing, you know. Anyways, that's why he got a different trainer now for the defense. So Jarett Hurd is going to come back and do a rematch with Tony Harrison. They asked me what fights I'm looking forward to. I'm not really looking forward to this fight. I think that not Tony Harrison, J-Rock, Julian Williams. I'm not really looking forward to it. I think Julian Williams got his number. I think no matter what J-Rock tries to do, I'm sorry, Jarett Hurd, I think J-Rock will have an answer for him, but we'll see. But at the end of the day, that was a fight I was looking forward to. Not really looking forward to the Anthony vs. Joshua Andy Ruiz fight because I think Andy Ruiz got Anthony Joshua's number, so it is what it is. Let me see what you're saying there. J-Rock's authoritativeness was more effective. Hurd was actually winning those middle rounds, but J-Rock got inside and warmed down. Landed punishing shots. His footwork and defense was much better. Yep. It's footwork. It's the footwork that did it for him. The footwork and the way how he uses his lead hand. You know, that's what made a difference. So he was able to they both turn people, but he was able to basically make Jarett Hurd follow him on the inside. And that's a very interesting thing to do. And it just shows you how skilled J-Rock is. What I mean by that is, all right, you're always one step ahead. So in boxing, you learn to cut off the ring. So if my opponent is going this way, I'm going to move sideways with him, right? So he doesn't circle the ring, so I can cut him off. Similarly, in close fighting, if a guy is pivoting, let's say the guy's pivoting that away, like that, right? I want to get ahead of him, which means I got to get my body. So if I'm banging up against him with my shoulder here and I'm protecting myself like this, okay? I'm banging up against here. And he's pivoting and I'm pivoting. I want to do like this and leverage my body on him and then use my forearm to turn him. So that I am ahead of him. J-Rock did that. So J-Rock's always ahead of Jarett Hurd, and he also keeps Jarett Hurd from landing a punch on him, and he creates a T angle so that he can land his overhand left hook or catch him to the body with an overhand right. J-Rock would skip. He'd do a short shuffle and get into that position so he could land a body shot, a head shot, double up the hook, body to head, whatever, you know. And these are things, again, they're little tricks he know with the forearm. And Jarett Hurd didn't know about that stuff because he didn't have extensive amateur background and that kind of stuff and training and stuff. So those little tricks J-Rock was doing with his feet as well to get into position quicker than Jarett Hurd could. And Jarett Hurd's not the quickest with his feet, so he had to cut a sharp angle to actually do that because really Julian Williams is the one that was pivoting around Jarett Hurd. Jarett Hurd was pivoting in reaction to Julian Williams. See? There's all these little things you got to kind of understand and know about boxing. And the little nuanced things. And footwork is everything. Everything. You see? How you place your feet. You know. So it's like when I hear these other guys talk about Triple G got better defense, I'm like, dude. No. Okay? Not at all. Erislandy Lara could not beat Jarett Hurd. And it wasn't just because Jarett Hurd was tough and could take Erislandy Lara's punches. He was using good defense as well. And counters. Which is what dropped Erislandy Lara in the last round. Yes, he's tough. He's got good conditioning as well, but that's not everything. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to leave that with you. It's a 33-minute video, 34 minutes coming up. Have a good one, guys. I hope to get into the Hangouts because I need to try out this thing again, this camera, to make this phone to make sure it works properly in Hangouts. You guys have a good night, man. Have a good night. You let me know also what boxing matches you think are worth the while to look at later on this year. Try to think of Pacquiao versus Thurman looks like an interesting fight as well, but I'm not really looking forward to any of the fights per se right now. I'm just interested in catching them as they go, you know. So that's basically it for me. You guys have a good one. Have a good evening.